Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. We have certainly a number of questions, and we'll start with the Deputy Chair, Senator Toulajan, Senator No, and Senator McFedrin.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for your testimony. So, you bring up a couple of interesting points. My sense is that, we keep hearing the word fake news or a myth. So, if it's true, this is fake news, then why aren't they letting independent observers into the country to see for themselves if it's fake news? And all the pictures that we're seeing, is that all fake? And you defend Aung Suu Kyi and say that she's a human rights activist. She says she's not. She's a political person. She's seen on video, making fun of the Rohingyas and their problems and of them being killed. She's on the record in India saying this is fake news. And yet you sit here and you say that, I understand your problem. I understand it's a democracy, and we all want the democracy to work, but not at the expense of the lives of others. The Rohingyas have been in Burma since the 12th century, and they have just as much right. When Burma used to be part of India, and then it was divided, and you had Pakistan and India and Burma. People who stayed in Pakistan became Pakistanis. People who stayed in India became Indians. People who stayed in Burma are Burmese. They're different tribes, different ethnicities, but they all have a right to be there.
Yes, Honorable Senator, you are right that they all have a right under the citizenship law. And in 1948, Burma gained the independence from British after Pakistan and India. So 1948 Citizenship Act mentioned that whoever lived in Burma at that time, the independence, they all are citizens. So whoever lived during that period became the citizens. And then also that Burma was a very poor country, and then also that a lot of the immigrations happened, like I just mentioned, that between 1911 and 2014, it is about 1,500 increase in Muslim populations, and the British census and today's census. So that's I think that the citizenship is come with that the rights that I mentioned, and the 1982 citizenship law also allowed that whoever came after the 1948 and that after the second generations, they can become the citizen. So Burma doesn't, as far as I know, Burma doesn't refuse or reject the citizenship life of the people who lives in Burma, regardless of the religions. So the fake news is that we are not saying that all the photos are fake news, but most of them circulating here internationally are fake or altered. For example, that's the one in Rwanda, and that they put it as happened in Burma or Myanmar. And that the one happened in Aceh State in Indonesia, and that is mentioned by the activists as it's happened in the Rakhine State. And also even that mentioned that I think the pre-war said that it's happened in 2011 in Kachin State, and it's a Kachin victims, and it shows as a Rohingya. So that's a lot of the things that happen, in sensational things happen, but those are the people that we need to help. Doesn't matter race or religion, and that's how that we feel that that they need to be helped. And then also that this exodus, that what happened, the exodus is the pre-planned, and then also the sabotage of that Dr. Kofi Annan recommendation. How can the government of Myanmar will be able to implement in this kind of environment? But they already started the implementation stage, and also that they all today, I think the Global Affairs just released a statement that UN and ambassadors from Myanmar Diplomatic Corps visited the conflict areas, and that they issued a joint statement. 19 countries issued a joint statements. We believe that this is a very good step forward, and Aung San Suu Kyi invited the international community to come and investigate themselves. I think that this is the first step the international community started, and then also that we encourage that Canada and then also that parliamentarians to take that invitation to visit and then look at with their own eyes. So that would be helpful.
So the diplomats that went, they were taken into certain controlled areas. If I want to go tomorrow and I want to go to a certain part, can you guarantee that I will be given permission by the Burmese government to go?
We're not representing the Myanmar authorities. That's
Well, you're here defending them. We are here defending them, right? And you've come out and said that most of the pictures that we've seen are fake pictures. The pictures of the bodies floating in the river, the pictures, we've heard testimony last week that when the refugees escape, those areas are all mined.
The bodies that are floating, they're showing that's the Cyclone Nuggets victims.
So that was fake also.
Yes. And also the bodies that the Mars Bureau that they put it on the internet websites, those are the China Sichuan earthquake, and that's the time that the Buddhist monks are doing the Buddhist rituals to the Mars Bureau.
So basically everything we have seen so far is fake news. That's what you're saying. All the photographs we're seeing is fake. When we had pictures of the villages being burned, that's fake.
No. Government also admitted that the many villages were burned. That's why today they brought the diplomatic corps to those villages, and that they will see with their own eyes. They even mentioned that many villages were completely burned down. So that's why I think that this is the very good step towards inviting the international community to visit the area, and also they agree that international media also should be visiting there to see with their own eyes.
But they're not allowed into every area. Human Rights Watch, Amnesty have all said, that the burning of villages is taking place, the killing of the Rohingyas is taking place. So I find it very hard to believe when you sit here and you tell me every photographic proof that has come out is fake. I'm having a
So
very
I'm not
hard
saying
time
that every
believing
photograph is being fake. Now, for example,
But all the ones I mentioned,
those are the
conveniently
fake.
they're fake.
Those were the fake. And then, but when the exodus crossing the borders, I believe that those are the real ones.
So just the refugees crossing those are okay, but the ones where they show the killing and where the bodies are lined up, those ones are fake.
Yep.
Are you denying that any killing of Rohingyas is taking place?
I'm not in a position to deny or accept.
Well, you're in a position to sit here in front of me and say that all those pictures that we're seeing are fake.
That's why we know that those are the pictures that we know that's
that
fake.
they're being killed?
Sorry?
I mean, the world is watching, where we have people who are on the ground who are reporting. So is everybody not telling the truth?
Those are the ones who interview, and now those are the ones who should be interviewed inside the Myanmar also.
You know that we gave the government representatives, a chance to come and appear before us and tell us their side of the story, and they did refuse, because in the Senate committees, we're very fair. We like to hear both sides of the story.
Well, thank you very much, Senator. We'll have Global Affairs here as well and other witnesses to be able to...
Can I be put on second round?
I don't think we're going to have time for a second round, but we only have 10 minutes right now. We'll try to slip that in. Senator No and Senator McFedrin, we don't have a lot of time with questions, but...
So maybe restricted?
Sort of.
Okay, I have a few questions for you. One question, I'm very surprised that the event happened in August. Why Aung San Suu Kyi did not stand up and condemn the action of the military at that particular moment, or 1 day or 2 days after, but wait only until 2 weeks later or sometime in September. Could you tell me why?
Senator, I am just as disappointed as anyone else, because State Councilor keeps silent not only in this issue. She keeps silence on what's happening, civil war in my state as well. But we cannot say, and we don't know what the real reason that she kept silent. She has been keeping silence. But what we can guess is, just like like I said, military control, fully responsible for defense, interior, and border security. And she has been very cautious about when it's time come for national security. And which is why, in my opening remark, that we need 100% civilian governments inside the country so that we can move forward as a democratic country.
Can I just add it on that? Aung San Suu Kyi, when they formed the government, first priority is the peace and national reconciliation. National reconciliation doesn't only mean that reconcile with the armed ethnic groups, the peace among the fighting with the military and the armed groups, but also with the reconciliation with the military. So that we don't know, we cannot answer why she quiet until September 19, and then we can think of that as that her first priority is the national reconciliation.
Senator No, I'd like to be fair
Can
to
I
others.
follow what? Just one tiny one thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, as the leader of the government, like a prime minister or the president or whatever you call it, she has the responsibility to stand up and say it. That's just the reason why the world blamed her for not standing up, and it was too late after 2-3 weeks, and we don't accept that. Could you tell us why again? Because of the control of the military? Because she's afraid of the military or what?
I don't think that she's afraid of anyone, and she's just calculated and then also look after that national reconciliation, also under the current 2008 constitution. Those are the constraints, and then those are the ones that she will look for, that the whole country, peaceful country, and not only for western part of the country, but also for the whole country.
My last one, can I just one thing again? If that's the case, then the citizenship law in 1982, does it not recognize Rohingya as citizen?
1982 Citizenship Act didn't mention about Rohingya is not citizen. 1982 Citizenship Act didn't mention about any ethnic nationality specific names. And then also 1982 Act mentioned about when became the citizen. For those people who live in Myanmar in 1948, January 4th, they are citizen. After that, I believe that after second generations, if they can prove, they can apply the citizenship. So those are the ones that is. So in my opinion, 1982 citizenship law didn't discriminate the race or the religion.
Senator McPhedran, Senator Omenvar.
Second round.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to ask a two-part question actually related to your organization and the representation here today. First of all, for your organization, as I understand it, part of your mission is to promote advocacy for Burma ethnic nationalities and to promote more cooperation among the different nationalities. Am I correct in understanding that? So my question is, do you have any Rohingya members of your organization?
So in our country, Rohingya is not the ethnic nationalities. And the Rohingya's name, if you look at all the census under the British colonial time, and the Rohingya's name never existed. And then in Rakhine State, we have the Rakhine Muslim Associations, founded in 1913. In 1949, Mujahideen movement came up and then fighting for the separate Islamic State. And then 1957, around that, the people live in the Butidang Mountain, northern Rakhine State. They came up with the solution that Rohingyas should be the name. Actually, that Rohan in the Bengali Chittagong dialect, that's mean they're calling the Rakhine.
So you're saying that the designation, sorry for interrupting,
yeah.
but I'm concerned the chair is going to tell me that we have to move on. So if I may just take the second step in my question.